We're in Old City Cemetery today in Jacksonville. We are in the Confederate soldier and sailors home section. The sign says that this section is dedicated to the men who passed away as residents of the soldiers and sailors home, which was built nearby in, I believe, 1893. It's a very, very nicely kept plot. We're on another stop in our See It Before It's Gone tour. We came here because we want to see these monuments and these graves before they're destroyed and desecrated. We also came to this particular area because we wanted to see, or this particular cemetery I should say, because we want to see Joseph Finnegan's grave, and along with a few others. There's some other notables here as well. Haven't found his grave. Not going to spend all day looking for it. Didn't do enough good research and due diligence before I came here to know exactly where his grave was. My bad. But I did want to see this section as well. A lot of people will tell you that these grave sites are sacred. Well, they're only sacred to a few of us. They're a complete abomination to a great many people. A lot of people will say that they're not going to bother the cemeteries, they're only going after the monuments. Well, to that I would reply, nonsense. They're coming after everything. You're not going to erase a people's history without doing it completely, and you're not going to erase a people's history without getting rid of the graves of the people who served during the cause. So that's why we're here. This is a very nicely done plot. One of the nicest I've seen. Obviously UDC or UCV, well, it would have to be UDC, are keeping it up, and they're doing a really, really good job. So we're going to go over and check that out. I haven't been down that way yet, so Finnegan's grave might be down there. Okay. Old Confederate soldier and sailors home, 93 to 38. Obviously they had no reason to continue once the last of the veterans had passed away. So these are, I don't know, probably 40 or 50. I don't know, maybe more than that. Maybe 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Yeah, there's probably about 70 or 80 in here, if not 100. They're all laid out very nicely. The grass is very nicely done. It's maintained. It's green. You can see on either side, it looks like a contrast, like you're seeing contrasting photographs or something. These are white. Someone's taking care of them. I can smell bleach, so someone, or some sort of chemical. So someone has put some time into maintaining these monuments. This says, in memory of our beloved ancestor Kirby Smith Camps. So this is SCV. Okay, so SCV does this, not UDC. Very nice. There's that bad word again. I like the way they've laid it out, Arlington style. There's that smell again. It might just be bleach, it might be something else, but you can definitely tell that these are chemicals somebody's used to clean this thing with. And again, the grass is well kept and green. When they watered it, they got a sprinkler system in here. You can see right there. So someone has put some energy and effort into this. Here's some beautiful foliage back here. You don't see this hardly at all, especially not for Confederate veterans. So someone has really done their due diligence. The problem that we see is when the protesters protest, their voice is the only one that's heard, or some come out that, you know, a few here and there, a few there, and they're always shouted down. So nobody's really hearing the voice of the people, quote unquote, because the people aren't out there. It's just the loud protesters, and whoever yells the loudest gets heard. And what I would say also, again in reply, is look at this flag. That is not the Stars and Bars that was here a couple of years ago. That's the Bonnie Blue, and that is a concession to the protesters. So how long before these graves are removed, these stones are removed, these monuments are removed, is anybody's guess. But mark my words, standing here right now, 2017, it will happen. Because we won't stop it, we'll allow it. Sit back and watch reruns of Survivor rather than being out here, which is what our enemies do. They're out here protesting while we're sitting at home.